I don't think I've ever been completely surprised when God has challenged me. Resistant? Oh yeah. God had been preparing me for what I needed to do for days, weeks, months, or sometimes years before his timing came. These times of spiritual training are not usually pleasant in the moment, but it yields so much fruit afterwards. Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not-so-secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom. Hi, beautiful. Welcome to the Time for Mom podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to make sure that you were aware that I have a free workshop coming. It's going to be at the end of April, and it's only going to be 45 minutes long, so it's going to fit perfectly in those little pockets of time that we moms do have. And if it doesn't happen to fall on a time when you can, there's going to be a recording available. So by all means, please still register and I will send you the playback. Head down to the bottom of the show notes and find where it says subscribe and subscribe. And I'm going to be emailing all of the details and attaching the link to the workshop page when I get that up. So again, end of April, free workshop, only 45 minutes long. You're going to walk away with tangible steps to reach the goals that you want to reach with your time this year. I am so looking forward to meeting you. If you would like to see the list of scriptures that I reference in this devotion, please head down to the bottom of the show notes and find the link for the original devotion, and there is a list in there. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's devotion, which was originally titled Potty Training and Spiritual Growth. But first, quick disclaimer, today's devotion is on potty training, and it contains many references to bodily functions. If these are offensive or triggering for you, please stop. Don't listen. And come back for next Friday's devotion or Wednesday's episode. That's okay too. We do have 2 episodes a week. All right, let's go. Have you had the privilege of potty training yet? It's great. So easy for everyone involved. Or at least that's what I remember until training our youngest refreshed the reality of how challenging potty training really is. Both of our girls spent the first 2 years of their lives enjoying the comfort of their diapers and being able to relieve themselves whenever and wherever they wanted. All of a sudden, in spite of months of mental prep work, they are told that diapers are no longer allowed, and they have to use the toilet. I am expecting them to immediately shift from what they've always known and done and perform perfectly in this new standard. That's a pretty unreasonable expectation for a dramatic habit shift. Sure, our girls showed all the signs of readiness, hiding to go poop, telling us they were going potty or poop, having a dry diaper after nap time or after a full night of sleep, being curious about the toilet, but for all the signs, change is still hard. Now, we are a big fan of Naked Week. We do use training undies, which are a lot thicker and allow there to be less of a mess when accidents happen, rather than going full naked. Anything to help reduce the amount of pee being absorbed on our floors short of a diaper is acceptable in my book, because there will be so much pee everywhere. After a day or 2, my children were figuring things out. They could see that there was a problem with going potty in their underwear. It's not just something that mommy is saying. There's an actual reason that's touchable, smelly, and gross. Until that diaper was taken away, though, they didn't know what the big deal was. There aren't much for natural consequences when you're wearing diapers. We potty train at or before 2 for 2 reasons. We know what our children are capable of, and we run out of pull-up sizes at Costco, and we're cheap. So we potty train out of necessity and not convenience. Our youngest is so capable. She can have a dry diaper after a full night's sleep. She'll stay dry during an entire day of grocery shopping. Grocery shopping really does take us all day because we shop an hour and a half away from our home. But anyway, ultimately, it's her choice whether she's going to keep her undies dry or not. Unfortunately, that means unpleasant circumstances if she chooses to wet her undies. I can't make her circumstances pleasant because it's my job to help her choose healthy habits. It's my job to call her into new and harder things as she grows, as she gains maturity, and as she becomes ready for new stages of life. I forgot how much of a process potty training is. I forgot that a child can be potty trained and still have multiple accidents a day because they're busy, not thinking about their bodily functions, etc. There are months to years of consistent efforts for all parties before a child is completely potty trained. I had forgotten how frequent accidents could be. Every time I get a day or two accident free, I'm like, yo, Adrian, I did it. See Rocky 2 for the reference. But reality comes tinkling down those two cute little chubby legs, and I have to reframe my definition of potty training, take a deep breath, and help her grow into her capabilities. As we grow spiritually, there are things that we need to grow out of, and God is faithful to call us into new seasons of growth and change. God knows everything about you and me. No one can guide us quite as well as Him because He knows what we are capable of. For heaven's sake, He knit us together in our mother's womb. He knows how many hairs are on your head. He knows our freckles and warts, character flaws. God knows what we do in secret. He knows how much I struggle with my temper, and He knows that I love deeply. As I grow, He calls me out of the old and into new things. Just like we had to wean our girls because they needed real food to stay healthy, God has to wean me from things that are no longer sufficient to keep me healthy and growing. God knows what I'm capable of, and He directs me to stop doing things that I've grown out of. While I may be content with pooping in my metaphorical diaper, God knows long term that I have got to learn how to use that toilet. Just like how we tried to prepare our daughter for the upcoming changes in her life by showing her the underwear, giving her the privilege of watching mommy use the toilet, because privacy is just not an option for moms, and talking to her about how she gets to wear comfy undies because she's a big girl. God has a way of preparing us for the changes we need to make. His Spirit is always present with us, and He whispers to our hearts, nudging us. There have been times I've completely ignored Him, and when things changed, I may have been outraged, but I was not surprised. I don't think I've ever been completely surprised when God has challenged me. Resistant? Oh yeah. I have been known to throw fits and pity parties, which no one attended. God had been preparing me for what I needed to do for days, weeks, months, or sometimes years before His timing came. These times of spiritual training are not usually pleasant in the moment, but it yields so much fruit afterwards. The Lord is always drawing us into deeper waters, little by little, growing us and strengthening our faith and trust in Him. When we first start to follow God's leading, the waters are only ankle deep. It's easy to walk. Next thing we know, we're knee deep, and it's more of a challenge to follow His leadings. Then the water becomes waist deep, and the going is much harder. It would be easy to get swept into the flow of His presence and leading, completely denying our flesh. Finally, the waters are too deep to walk in. We have to swim, and we are at the mercy of God and His leadings. We might go back to shallow waters, but we would be missing the peace, beauty, and life that is only found in complete surrender to God. Mama, God may be challenging you to grow beyond the season you are in. He knows the amazing things you are capable of because He has plans designed just for you. Take heart. God has great plans for you. There just may be a few dirty diapers as you grow into them. Love, Cheryl. Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who is wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with His peace.